Take a good look at your life. Every weakness you carry was taught to you. You were made to apologize for things that weren't your fault. Forgive those who broke your trust, they said. Celebrate your patience while your silence was being exploited. This isn't kindness. This is control. Centuries ago, Machiavelli revealed this truth. The masses are kept docile for one reason: to be governed. Your weakness is not natural. It was implanted inside you like a virus, making you easy to manage. But here's what scares them. The moment you awaken, the moment you stop saying sorry all the time, the moment you start saying no without justifying yourself, the moment you walk away without guilt, and act without seeking approval, that's when you become unstoppable. Rule 1. Detach from emotional reaction. Act with calculation. This message is your shield. It will burn away the emotional programming, the guilt, the doubt, the fear that holds you captive. Weakness isn't a flaw. It's a death sentence in the arena of power. In the chaos of human nature, weakness isn't pitied, it's hunted. The world judges you not by your intentions, but by your image. Show fragility, and predators will come. Show endless forgiveness, and betrayal will follow. Show kindness without strength, and people will exploit you with a smile. Machiavelli warned both rulers and subjects. Don't worry about being liked, be feared, or be forgotten. Weakness isn't noble. It's a sign to the mighty that you can be broken. We live surrounded by lies. They tell you nice guys win. Patience pays off. People will appreciate you eventually. These are the stories of the powerless. The truth: nobody respects someone who welcomes disrespect. No one fears a person who forgives everything, and no one follows someone who hesitates. At first, weakness costs you small things: respect, attention, presence. But then the stakes get higher: betrayal, failure, losing control. Weakness isn't just softness. It's indecision, over-explaining, asking for permission instead of taking what you deserve, fearing consequences more than craving power. Worst of all, weakness becomes a habit. You tell yourself it's morality, but really it's fear in a costume of virtue. The first step is to recognize it. Call out your weakness. No excuses, no shame, no mercy. Only then can you break free. People stay weak not because they want to, but because it's comfortable. Growth is hard. Comfort lies. From birth you've been fed soft poison. Be good. Wait your turn. Things will work out. These are lullabies for the powerless. The system thrives on obedience. Obedient people are predictable. They pay taxes, obey rules, and die quietly, never realizing their lives were controlled from the start. Machiavelli saw what most refuse to admit. Power is never handed over. It's seized, and before you can take it, you must shatter the illusions that keep you in chains. Let's expose the most dangerous misconceptions. First, the illusion of moral superiority. You're told kindness matters most, that quiet suffering is noble, that forgiveness is virtue. But watch who rises. The strategic, not the saintly. Success is secured by those who serve power, not those content to be good, but those determined to be indispensable or become power itself. Second, the myth of time. Be patient, your turn will come, they say. But time is not your friend, it's your executioner. Every hesitation gives your opportunity to someone colder, hungrier, less concerned with waiting. The world doesn't pause, it consumes. Third, the fantasy of equality. Everyone is equal, they repeat. But it's a comforting illusion for the masses. In every arena, some dominate. Most are dominated. Your real choice: lead or be led. Fourth, the promise of stability. Stability is seductive. A steady job, security, predictability. Yet it breeds complacency, kills ambition, and turns potential predators into domesticated pets. True power is found in chaos. Only those willing to navigate uncertainty, make ruthless choices, and adapt without flinching will survive. Fifth, the leash of guilt. Society wants you ashamed of wanting more. Ashamed for shutting doors, for refusing to explain yourself, for walking away. Guilt is a synthetic constraint, not a virtue. The only thing you owe is to become formidable. Rule 2. Cut attachments without apology. Weakness persists because these lies are soothing, but comfort is passive self-destruction. If you want to break free, you must confront hard truths without mercy. Tear off the comfortable masks, reject hollow narratives, and accept reality's darkness. No one is coming to lift you up. You must become the person others fear, respect, and follow, or disappear into obscurity. You were conditioned to be soft. Now is the time to reverse the process. Eliminate these lies. Forge a mind sharpened for strategic warfare. Weakness feeds on emotion. Strength is born in calculation. Machiavelli never suggested that princes act out of feeling. He urged them to rule through perception, to be feared when necessary, to treat allies and enemies as instruments, discarding them when their usefulness ends. Loyalty and forgiveness were not his path. Victory was. To win, cold logic must replace emotional compromise. Let's start dismantling the disease of weakness. Trade reaction for calculation. Emotional responses make you predictable, and the predictable are easily controlled. When your temper flares, you're baited. When you're easily offended, you're silent. Yearn for acceptance, and you'll be led by those who dangle it just out of reach. Instead, move with calculation. Every step, every decision should fit a purpose. Gather leverage, guard your reputation, grow your influence, remove obstacles without noise. You aren't here to indulge emotion. You're here to build power. Detach from results, focus on positioning. The emotional obsess over outcomes and wallow in disappointment. The strategic mind adapts with each shift. When a plan fails, there's no drama, only adjustment. When someone exits your life, you don't plead, you replace. Decisions are clean and clinical. Cut away what doesn't serve. Walk away free of regret. No begging, no debates, no second chances. Wield emotion as a tool, not a compass. Feelings aren't enemies, but they aren't leaders either. Reserve them for your advantage. Appear generous but stay implacable. Appear vulnerable, but reveal nothing. Let others believe you care, while plotting your advance. Smile to win trust. Remain silent to sow tension. Use apparent kindness to gather secrets. Emotion should mask your motives, never dictate them. Cultivate a cold core beneath fierce ambition. The strongest never move from cruelty, but from crystalline clarity. If someone impedes your mission, they're gone. If a situation falters, cut it loose. If you're betrayed, don't brood, advance. Most people sink because they cling to loyalty, to guilt, to fading identities. The cold mind recognizes attachment as a weakness. Feelings are costly, and in power's game, the quickest betrayal comes from your own heart. Strength is born not from feeling stronger, but from thinking colder. From now on, subject every decision to a single test. Does this empower me, or does it expose a vulnerability? If it weakens you, burn it. If it softens you, silence it. If it slows you, leave it behind. The cure for weakness is not more kindness, but more clarity, more control. Face facts. At its core, weakness is attachment. Each attachment, be it to people, approval, comfort, or your own identity, gives someone else the reins to your fate. Cut the thread. Be your own master. Machiavelli knew this. A man who needs nothing cannot be controlled. The world preys on your attachments. Those you fear losing are the very ones who test your limits. Knowing you'll endure their overreach, you become vulnerable the moment you can't walk away. When others sense your self-worth hinges on their approval, they claim ownership over you. Rule 3. Use emotion as a weapon, not a guide. True power requires distance. You must be ready to burn bridges, erase names, and walk alone without hesitation or fear. Even more perilous than being attached to people is being tied to your own image. The craving to be liked, praised, and understood, the desire to be the good guy, is weakness in disguise. You compromise your behavior to fit rooms you should dominate. You dim your light so others won't feel threatened. This isn't virtue, it's surrender. Detach from the illusion of acceptance. Let them misunderstand you. Let them fear you. Let them gossip and judge. Their comfort is irrelevant. Your rise is what matters. Most hold on to who they used to be, their old names, their history, their safe identities. They remain loyal to a past self built for survival, not for dominance. Reinvention threatens the weak but arms the strong. Be willing to kill the soft version of yourself, the one who tolerated too much, apologized too fast, hesitated too often. Let that version decay and die. You must also sever ties with comfort, the enemy of ambition. Comfort breeds stagnation and tells you that mere survival is enough. It whispers, rest now, you've earned it. But comfort smothers urgency and drains the ruthless fire inside you. Learn to thrive in discomfort. Think clearly when others panic. Make cold, calculated decisions while others falter. Finally, the deadliest attachment, fixation on outcomes. You crave control over everything, want guarantees, want others to act exactly as you expect. But true power emerges when you no longer fear loss. When you release the need for things to go your way, you gain mastery over yourself. And that is the ultimate control. The man who masters detachment is untouchable. He cannot be threatened, manipulated, or broken. He moves with clarity, speaks with precision, and walks alone if necessary. Not from hatred, but from unwavering self-trust. The truly dangerous man desires no one, chases nothing, fears no loss, and understands this immutable truth. When you sever the ties of attachment, you reclaim sovereignty over your own mind, and once you command your mind, no one else can hold power over you. With the softness erased, detached from all that once weakened you, and the internal noise silenced, something new emerges. Not just confidence, but something colder, something untouchable. This isn't about becoming better. It's about becoming dangerous, not to others, but to everything that ever controlled you. Emotion no longer steers your actions. Approval no longer matters. Hesitation has died when it's time to move. The old you, that version, who overthought, sought validation, and doubted every step, that person is gone. What remains is sharpened, precise, surgical. Guilt has been replaced by clarity, fear by calm, attachment by silence. In that silence, people sense your transformation before they can name it. They feel the absence of need, the absence of emotional reaction. They see a figure who does not flinch, who does not chase, who no longer plays the nice, safe role others depended on. You've become an anomaly amid weak men, a calm storm, a presence that carries weight without uttering a word. This is not arrogance. This is authority earned by doing what most never dare, eradicating the emotional dependency that keeps people ordinary. Your rise is quiet, internal, and therefore invincible. Nothing can take it from you, neither failure nor betrayal nor isolation. You care little for who stays or who leaves. Instead, you measure those who respect your silence, fear your distance, and observe your moves rather than trying to echo your words. Because now you don't speak to explain. You speak to command. You don't engage in conflicts to argue. You end them before they start. There's a cold efficiency in your presence. When you enter a room, you don't seek the spotlight. Yet your stillness outperforms any performance. You are no longer emotionally accessible to those who waste your time. You feel no obligation to fix others, justify yourself, or bear their burdens. You have trained yourself to walk alone, and that solitude has made you unstoppable. Because the man who needs no one cannot be controlled or manipulated. Rule 4. Prioritize clarity and control over comfort. You've risen because you embraced one of Machiavelli's harshest truths. The strongest man is the one who sheds weakness without apology. He doesn't beg. He doesn't explain. He doesn't justify his distance. He moves quietly, deliberately, and with finality. Let them call it cold. It doesn't matter. The dangerous man cares not for opinion, only for outcomes. And the outcome he demands is control, complete mastery over himself, his emotions, and ultimately his world. This power was never given. It was forged, carved through every boundary you set, every attachment you cut, every moment you chose silence over reaction. You are no longer the one who gets hurt. You are the one who is remembered. The dangerous man isn't the loudest, nor the one who threatens. He's the one who doesn't need to. His calm presence carries more weight than 10 angry voices. You stand above emotion. You watch without reacting. You sense betrayal before it unfolds. You replace loyalty with utility. And when someone crosses the line, you don't argue, you erase. You've become dangerous, not because you seek to harm, but because you no longer depend on anyone. That terrifies the weak, who cannot survive without approval. You've built a mind that thrives free of it. You don't chase peace anymore. You are. That's why people either draw near or fall away. You no longer adapt to their comfort. You command them to adapt to your silence. You've risen, not to inspire, not to prove, but because weakness was never your nature. It was and now they feel it. Your silence, louder than noise. Your absence, heavier than presence. This is what it means to be dangerous, to withdraw from the world that once drained you, and become the consequence weak men dread. You speak not by announcing your rise, you embody it, and you never look back. You were never born weak. You were made weak. And now, you are unbreakable. Rule 5. Speak to command, not to explain. You were shaped by expectations, softened by guilt, controlled by emotions that never truly belonged to you. They taught you to be agreeable, polite, forgiving. They trained you to respond, to explain, to hesitate. And with every act of compliance, a fragment of your strength was stolen. But that person is gone. You burned that version away. You've silenced the noise, cast off the desperate need to be liked, and reclaimed your sharp edge. The softness that once made you vulnerable is now replaced by resolute silence. The hesitation that slowed you down is gone, replaced by decisive speed. The emotional chains binding you to others have crumbled beneath your feet. You are someone new, not cold from cruelty, but cold with clarity. You no longer move to please, you move to dominate. You don't speak to be heard, you speak to be obeyed. Every weakness they once praised has been stripped away. You've sculpted a mind unshakable under pressure, a presence that never begs, chases, or explains. You don't react, you vanish. And when you reappear, everything has changed because you have made it so. You have become the threat people feel but cannot map, the stillness before an irreversible storm, the enigma that leaves them guessing and regretting. Now power is natural, not forced or faked, but earned. Not by shouting louder, but by never needing to. Not by fighting harder, but by denying them the fight they expected. You closed the door to their influence and became unreachable. That is what made you unforgettable. This isn't about fear for fear's sake. It's about becoming so whole within yourself that no one can shake you, use you, or bend you. You are no longer breakable. You are no longer reachable by the world that once thrived on your hesitation. Now you are your own weapon, calm, cold, calculate. If you felt that shift, if these words sparked something inside you, show it by liking this message. And if you're ready to go deeper, ready to become more dangerous, more untouchable, more unshakable, subscribe. What comes next isn't meant for everyone. It's meant for you. You are no longer just anyone. You are something different. You are the consequence.